At the state level, it's one of those kinds of years with the budget issues that when you're a lobbyist, you sort of take a deep breath and hold into this, come into the session and hope for the best and prepare for the worst. With the financial situation the state is in, obviously budgets have been cut at all levels very significantly. And we're still not, I don't think, at the point yet where the budget, at least some of the early proposals out there, has been balanced. So legislators are looking at any possible way they can to either indirectly bring in more revenue or to cut, expenses. So if you have programs out there that are funded by state dollars, and you all are well familiar with this, being at the county level, where you're often the administrative agencies that carry out the state wishes, it's a very concerning time. And we have a couple of programs that we're watching very closely. Drainage wells is one. The CREP program, which is the constructive wetland program, is another. So far, the funding on those looks like it's going to be okay, but who knows? The other thing is that we're on a very short session. The legislature made the decision coming into the session that they would make this a short session to control cost. So whereas normally you would be looking at around late April, early May for adjournment, now you're looking at late March, early April. So they've taken about 4 weeks off the length of the session. And what that means is that everything is very compressed. With you couple that with the budget troubles, and it's been a very difficult year. We do have one bill that we've been advocating that looks like it's going to pass. That will change the bidding limit on drainage projects, so you wouldn't have to go to bid as often. The other thing that we found out is that when you get a drainage project bid, the current law says that the bid security that is posted by the construction company that's making the bid, and if you were at the annual conference we discussed this a little bit, the bid security has a cap limit, has a legislative cap limit of $10,000. And we found out that $10,000 cap was put in law in 1905. We recently had a drainage project in Pocahontas County. It was bid at just under $2 million. $10,000 security, requirement is nothing. So we're asking that the law be changed to 5% of the amount bid, and that's coupled with this change in how often we have to go to bid process. It looks like that's going to pass.
That makes a lot more sense.
So we're just going to go with a flat 5%. And we passed that bill on the House side 98-0. We got it out of Ag Committee yesterday with no votes, so it looks like it's going to be fairly non-controversial. We've got some other issues that we're interested in. Dolores Mertz, who's chair of House Ag, said, I'm sorry, we just don't have time this year. It's not going to happen this legislative session. She said, I will request an interim study so that we can talk about these and hopefully get ahead of steam heading in the next session. But she said, we just don't have time to deal with these issues. So that's what we're doing.
Sounds like we're headed in the right direction on a lot of things.
So we've got state courts involved, we've got federal legislation, we've got state legislation, and we've got state regulators, and those are all the areas that impact drainage right there.
Yeah, it seems like the DNR wants to get involved in more and more things, spend more money, and force us to spend more.